Before I invite our children up, I just have one quick announcement. As you know, Vacation Bible School is coming up. Kara mentioned our meeting earlier. We are collecting 3 items that we need from folks. I need some of your spare cardboard. I know none of us would, be Amazon shoppers, but if you have some extra cardboard, we're going to be making superhero shields, and I'm going to need a lot of cardboard. I'm going to need 20 to 40 golf balls that will get paint on them. So if any of you golfers have extra balls you don't like, I don't really know how golf works. I was always terrible at it. And I also need used toilet tissue roll. So the disposable rolls, because a lot of different types, not the tissue itself, just the roll that it comes on, not the tissue itself. So if you could collect those, we have a box right beside our backpack blessing box. Those are just some things that would really help us, because buying those aren't really cost efficient if we can get those from people in the church. I know that's some stuff that some of us may use, and that's some stuff all of us use. So now, I would like to invite our children down for our children's moment. Hello, everyone. We have a couple more. And Ramsey too. So I have a story I'm going to tell you, because Kara's going to tell this story, and I thought you'd all really like it because it has a lot of cool stuff. Now, normally, we tell stories about who? Jesus. That's normally who we tell. But I want to tell a story about something that happened way before Jesus was ever born, to these 3 guys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And when their country was conquered by this king called Nebuchadnezzar, and they were taken into his palace to be servants or people. I'm not exactly sure. Kara knows the story better than I do. And they wanted to keep true to what God had taught them. So they didn't eat certain foods, and for a while people thought that was kind of funny. They didn't really notice it. But Nebuchadnezzar got really cocky. And he said, I rule all these kingdoms. I want to build a giant gold statue of myself. And then when all these musical instruments play, every day, everybody's going to have to stop and bow towards my statue. Well, these 3 people, they weren't going to do that, because in their religion, in Judaism, which is where Christianity comes from, they had a very clear rule. You cannot worship anything that's not God. That includes big gold statues. So the king got furious when they said no. So he was going to throw them in a big furnace. Big fire, big hot. So what happens? The king gets them thrown in there with his guards, and they go into this furnace. Then all the king and his servants, they're all thinking this is hilarious. And then they look in there, in this hot furnace, bigger than this room, full of flame. And they're just standing there. But instead of 3 of them, there's 4 of them. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And God was with them, and they didn't burn up in the fire. They didn't get soot on their clothes. They didn't lose any of their hair. They walked out, and everybody realized how powerful and wonderful God was. Because sometimes, even when bad things are going on in our lives, even when things are difficult, I hope none of you get thrown into a furnace. No, absolutely not. That'd be silly. That'd be silly. Only your Sunday school teachers might be. But the story is that you may not be in a furnace, but you may be doing something, you may be having trouble with something. You may just be having a bad day. And even though you won't be able to see God there, God's with you. God's going to be there beside you. You can talk, you can pray, you can just be easy knowing God, just like for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, God was with you too. All right? You guys pray with me before we go? Repeat after me. Dear God, thank you for being near us and keeping us safe. Amen. Let's go to worship. Wonder.